All right, welcome in. It's in-game live college football game day, hour number 5 of our 5-hour extravaganza. So while we were away, Texas had forced Georgia to punt the football, but Georgia, pulling a little Dan Campbell, goes for it. A fake punt, ran it to perfection, Joe. Scott Wetzel, Joe Madden here. I mean, just they snapped it to the up back, who's this big fat defense or offensive lineman. He pitches it to a wide receiver who's in motion. Little toss. I mean, you couldn't have done it any better if you were, the Peyton Manning, for goodness sakes. And the Georgia wide receivers goes around the right side, picks up 8 on 4th and 5, first down Georgia at the Texas 48-yard line. Wow, that was nice. That was done to perfection. Right? They even had two defenders on one guy on the right-hand side. It went from left to right. So it looked like Texas would be in a position, but if you're not paying attention to that, then, it's easy to pick up a few yards. I'm surprised more teams don't do that. That was nice. So Georgia on the move, now a 1.5-point favorite.
Yeah, and -120 on that money line. Scott, if you are looking at Georgia here, do you like laying the 1.5 at -114 or just the money line at -120? I'd rather take the money line at -120 instead of laying the 1.5, right?
Yeah, for 6 extra, it's God forbid something crazy should happen. The way Texas's field goal kicker has been, right? I mean, would it be the craziest thing in the world? See Georgia score a touchdown and then Texas, miss the extra point or just go for 2 and just say, you know what, our field goal kicker is just not on today and end up losing by 1. So yeah, for an extra 4, 5, 6 cents. Usually if it's like 20. About 20 cents is when I start thinking, all right, maybe I'll lay the 1.5 or 2. But and it doesn't figure to be a 1.5. But as I just pointed out, that could very easily happen. I can see Georgia scoring and then Texas coming down and scoring and just saying we're going to go for 2 because our kicker hasn't been able to do anything today. So first down now at the Texas 38-yard line. I don't know. Yeah, listen, they're going to get in. They just are. There's no two ways about it. So I won't, discuss so much or debate that, Joe. But if they lose this game, Texas, I mean, how could you really think that they could win the national championship? I mean, yours is just not that good. The offense just isn't that good. I mean, they're the second choice, right? Texas is the second. I didn't understand them being a favorite in this game. It didn't make any sense to me. You lost to this team on your own home field, and you were embarrassed for the most part. You lost 30-15, and it really wasn't even that close. And yet somehow or another, they made them a favorite for this game. There's this love affair for Texas. I don't get it, but I think they would drop. Right now, they're the second choice. They lose this game to a backup quarterback, basically. I think they would fall to like 7, 8, 9, especially knowing that you wouldn't be getting, a first-round bye. So I think it would be right around Alabama, like 15-1. I'd have more faith betting Alabama than I would Texas right now to win it all.
So would I with what we're seeing out of this game. And the books only are giving you plus 390 here for them to win it all. Like you said, the second favorite, we've got Oregon at the top at plus 350, followed by Texas and then Ohio State at plus 400 and Georgia at plus 480. Georgia is controlling this game right now, Scott, and you're getting Georgia at plus 480 to be able to get it done. And Notre Dame, like we were talking about before, plus 750. Wow. Penn State then at plus 1100. Penn State have any chance here, Scott? This defense is legit. No.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. They played a bunch of cupcakes, so I don't. I think they're so overrated. I think Oregon smashes them tonight. But you said it, Joe. That Georgia plus 480. They win this game, and they go from being 5 to 12 seed to now probably 3, 2, maybe 2, 3, 4 seed, doesn't matter, and get a bye in the first round. I mean, and if Penn State were to win tonight, who knows? Maybe they would be number 1. Doesn't really matter. You're 1, 2, 3, or 4. You all get buys. But point is, you'd have one less game. You'd get a week of rest for your quarterback. I don't think, and you know what? It's at 440 right now. It just went down. The closer Georgia gets to winning this game, I'm telling you that plus 440 will not be there. That'll be, I would say maybe 340, 360. I think they would be just behind Oregon. They won't go lower than Oregon, but they'll be lower than what Texas is right now, plus 440. I would bet it'd be right around, plus 360, 370. So if you like Georgia, I'd bet them right now. And don't wait, because like I said, that just dropped 40 points in 10 seconds.
It's insane, right? We're sitting here, those lines are moving so quickly. But Georgia, first and goal right now. So let's see if they're able to push this one in, Scott. I hope so. I really do, because Texas doesn't deserve to win this game with how they're playing right now.
Yeah, they're going to be kicking themselves. It's one of those games. We almost saw it last week against Texas A&M in a game they completely dominated, and then had to survive a scare, late in the contest because A&M scored a touchdown. I mean, the offense just has not gotten it done. Just as simple as that. So, and then you tack on those 2 field goals that they missed. Third and goal at the Texas 2. Here's the thing: they don't score on third down. Do you go for it on fourth down with 5 minutes left? I would say no. I don't think they would, but going up by only a field goal.
Yeah, I would. Well, actually, no, because Texas hasn't been able to convert their field goals. So why risk putting no points on the board? Take the field goal. You're right. There is someone down here for Georgia. It looks like Phillips, I believe, Scott, took a pretty big hit trying to run that in for the touchdown. So I'm showing third and goal on Texas's 2nd-yard line right now, but we have gone to a commercial break.
Yep. Third and goal for the Texas 2. So laying 2.5, minus 215, over under 35.5. Well, I tell you, if they kick the field goal, that does obviously lead to overtime that much easier if you believe Texas can actually kick a field goal. If you're sitting on that 14-1 overtime ticket, well, I think I'd almost rather have them score a touchdown, to tell you the truth. The kid hit the extra point, so he's got to have a little bit of confidence. But boy, if you missed 2 field goals already, and now you're being thrown out there to close out the game, to send the game to overtime, I think I'd just assume Texas to score a touchdown. So let's go, right?
Yeah, because we can't kick or trust the field goal kicker here to come out and get it under that pressure, especially because there's no pressure earlier in the game. Texas was up when he missed those field goals as well, Scott. So I don't like the chances if Georgia just takes the field goal that Texas can help push it to overtime. I think then Texas would have to convert that touchdown and win the game, and then we wouldn't see overtime for sure.
Yeah. And I tell you, just from a selfish standpoint, I need a touchdown as well, as I remember my SGP. I need 13 points. So we got 7 with the Texas touchdown. Here's the question. If they kick a field goal, and I know the answer. If they kick a field goal, then Texas kicks a field goal. That's 13. Do points in overtime count for the fourth quarter? I'm guessing no, they don't. So that stinks. That really, you know what? Yeah. I'd hate to not hit on a 9.5-1 parlay because these mopes they score 13 points and I need 14. Oh, that would really
stink. That's an uneasy feeling, Scott. Oh, yeah. I don't like that.
All right, let's go. Let's go, Georgia. Let's get a touchdown on third down or fourth. I don't care. One or the other. I have more coming up.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Right here with you on Pro Football Today on SportsGrid. Odds in motion, trying to see what lines have moved throughout the week.
Never felt more comfortable in this set than I do for this year. I am ready. I'm just getting angry. The hot takes are going to be here all long, people. What in the world is going on in Miami, Dom?
It's not particularly anything to shy away from just because many people are on top of it.
Hot take, hot take.
I think this line is asking you once again to take New Orleans.
Pro Football Today, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in game live college football game day. Seems like whenever we go away, we get some points. So this time it was a field goal, Joe. So 16-13, third down, they threw a pass. I mean, you throw a third down pass with a backup quarterback who's thrown 15 passes his entire career. You get the season on the line, for goodness sakes. So they from the 2-yard line, no less. You're Georgia, you know? Where's Herschel Walker when you need him, for goodness sake? So they throw the ball incomplete. They kick the field goal. They go up 3. So the scenario I was talking about for my SGP, listen, Texas needs to get down the field, but hopefully they score a touchdown now. But then they blow. Well, you know what? I can't have them score a touchdown because then that's going to put them up 4, and I got Georgia +3.
No.
I'm
no.
either way. I'm screwed.
Okay, if you get the touchdown and don't get the extra point, do you win?
I do. I don't win as much because the Georgia +3 would turn into a push, but at least I would win some. Yes. So
that's what we're hoping for.
That's that or a defensive touchdown.
Yeah. Okay.
Boy, that kind of stinks.
That does.
Just hand the ball off. Just like I said, you got a backup quarterback who's had like 3 snaps all year. From the 2-yard line, I would want you to run the ball if you had Beck in there, for goodness sakes.
Oh, for sure, right? That should have been the play. I don't understand why they didn't go there. But look at this game. There's still 4 minutes and 35 seconds left. Are you seeing how many timeouts we have for both of these teams? Because we know that Georgia could get the ball back still.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Said and done.
Yeah. What I need is like Texas to have 4th and 3 on this first set of downs, go for it, and then not get it. And then have Georgia get the ball at the Texas, 25-yard line and hope they score a touchdown. And then that way they would cover, and I would still get the +3 winner too. That's probably my most realistic thing. Unless, listen, Texas comes down and the field goal kicker for Georgia is really good. So if Texas even scores and ties it with the minute left, 40 seconds left, I got 40 seconds to move the ball down the field, albeit with a backup quarterback. I might be able to get the job done. So not out of it, but it just doesn't look as good as it did, 2 minutes ago when we had the ball inside the 5-yard line. So Texas has it. Moment of truth here. Still no, Manning. right? I has he been on the field at all today, Joe? I've not seen him, but we're doing the show, so it's kind of hard. I know he hasn't thrown a pass, so I don't know. Yeah, has he played or not? Yes.
I keep hearing that he was out once. And he was out once and passed the ball back to a running back for a play. So that's all I've heard. I didn't see the play either because we were talking and we're probably both looking at some lines here, not being able to see that. But get him in there. I really do think he could come in there and get a touchdown on the board. So I don't know, Scott. I don't understand what Texas is doing here, why they're not utilizing him. Like Quinn Ewers just got sacked again. This defense is eating him apart.
He's just not that good. Just not that good. I tell you what, this is your perfect spot, though, for your 8.5 to 1 Matthew Golden ticket. He's got 162 yards. They're down. Obviously, they're going to throw the ball. You got 70 yards to work with. Boy, you get 38 more yards, and you're going to cash your 8.5 to 1 ticket. That's not bad. You got a shot.
Unless Quinn Ewers throws an interception.
Oh, you kidding me? Did he?
Done. Oh, my God. Scott, how did he? I'm lost for words. I look at the play, watch the play. Wow. I don't even understand why he threw the ball there. I really don't. He threw it right to Georgia. A defensive player was right in front of whoever he was aiming at. Like standing there.
That was awful.
It was like they're standing still.
That was like his first interception in the first quarter. Same thing. Little 15 yard outplay. He doesn't have a Sunday arm. There's no way that kid's playing in the NFL. He doesn't have a strong arm. He really doesn't. He floats the ball out there. He was covered. He had no business throwing the ball. I mean, when you look at the replay, it's not like he was even open, and it took time for the ball to get there. The defensive back is right there. Wow.
Gross.
So my SGP is back alive if I get a touchdown here. Now, field goal's not going to do me any good. Still, it's 16 points or 13 points is 13 points, but I'm back alive with that. What do you do? If you're Texas, what do you do for, the college football playoff? This guy's just,
I don't know.
It's too bad because the kid tried to do the right thing. He came back, he loved Texas. I don't know how he ended up at Ohio State, to start his college career because he's so much in love with Texas, but whatever. Transfers down to Texas. He could, he doesn't leave when the Manning comes. He stays around, loyalty to the school, this and that. Comes back this year, and in reality, he's probably held this team back. He's not enhanced it. He's held it back. So, do you start him next week? Because you're going to be playing next week. There's no bye. Or do you just say, all right, that's it. Let's put Manning in there. Because Manning's going to be there next year.
And they've had success. They've had success with Ewers, but you look at the defenses he went up against, right? And I think those kind of stats really off-put what he's really done on the season because you look at him against those weak teams and the amount of passing touchdowns he's been able to put out on the board. And then Manning came out. Manning was able to play nice and strong in those games as well. But I'd start Manning. Why waste your time with Ewers here? I just don't like what we've seen out of him this game, Scott.
Yeah. If you're Texas, you can't beat a backup quarterback. That's embarrassing. You go into halftime. We said it, it just had all the earmarks. If it wasn't for Beck being hurt, I really would have put a lot of money on Georgia second half. I really did like them, but you just didn't know what you were getting out of the backup quarterback. Turns out the kid's halfway decent, good enough. Let's put it that way. But had it been Beck and knowing what they did first half and knowing what they're probably going to do second half, I would have really bet Georgia a lot. But as it was, we told you to bet Georgia after they scored that touchdown. I was like, okay, the kid's for real. So now they're minus 390 on the money line. Wow. All right, 3rd and 13 at the Texas 31 for Georgia. Find out what happens when we come back.
she was recruited to Oregon partially by, guess who? Mark Campbell and Xavi Lopez. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. I'm going to say this right now. Mark Campbell's one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in women's college basketball right now.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
And welcome back in Game Live, college football game day. Scott and Joe for another half hour or so. We'll figure out how long this game lasts. We're waiting a timeout on the field. Georgia leads Texas 16-13. They got 3rd and 3 at the Texas 31-yard line. So question is, do they go conservative and run the ball? Which means they probably won't get 14 yards, right? And kick a field goal, go up 6, but that would leave the door open for Texas to win the game on a touchdown with 2.5 minutes left. And they would have one timeout left because I'm sure they would call one after they ran this 3rd down play. Or, Joe, do they pass the ball, take a chance with a backup quarterback and throw the ball down the field and try and get 14 yards, kind of pull the Detroit Lions from Thursday night and win the game? In essence, you get a 1st down here. It's not quite over, but it would be pretty close to being over because they even have the lead. They don't have to worry about kicking a field goal. So, all right, something goofy happened because FanDuel says Texas has the ball.
For it. And they turned it over. The interception came and Texas got the ball, Scott. Wow. They went for it.
That's exactly what I was saying, right? You go conservative and run and kick a field goal. Or do you throw the ball down the field with the backup quarterback? I don't know if there's necessarily a bad. Who was he throwing it to?
It was a backup quarterback.
If the Texas player would have blocked the wide receiver, he would have run all the way down the field.
Yeah, there would have been our pick 6 that we needed, Scott. Plus 850, that was cash.
He threw it in the flat, about 15 yards, 20 yards down the field. I don't know who he was throwing to because there was nobody there except the Texas player. And he starts running up the field about 10, 15 yards, and there was only one. Let me see this angle on the replay. Oh, there was nobody there. Nobody. If that Texas player would have blocked that wide receiver, he would have been gone. And instead, he ran right by the dude, and the dude shot behind him and made the tackle. Wow. I mean, I know they probably don't practice these things, right? Defensive backs blocking. I get that. But if they lose this game and they look at that film, there was nobody there and just that one guy, and he was able to make the tackle. So, all right. I got to say, our 14-1 overtime ticket, and don't forget our round robin $1 $55,000 ticket is still alive very much if we can get this game to overtime. I'll lose my I'll lose my 8.5 to 1 parlay, but you know what? For 55,000, I'll take a shot. That's okay.
Yeah. Where are you going for Christmas if it cashes, Scott? Christmas plans?
I'm not telling. If it cashes, I'm not telling. I'm just
You're bringing the wife and the kids, though. You have to. You can't just go by yourself, Scott.
Yeah. Checks in the mail. I'll send you the airline tickets in the mail. Yeah, just keep on waiting. Hopefully, you don't get intercepted.
Oh, you're such trouble.
That's funny. All right, so all this bashing of Dingaling, Quinn Ewers, and he's got a shot to lead them down the field. I mean, like if he doesn't get it done here, right? I mean, all the opportunities in the first half, all the failures, all the interceptions, and now he's got it. It's like a field goal kicker who's missed 5 field goals, and he's got to go out there for the 6th time. Like he really doesn't want to. He's just like, go score the touchdown, please. I don't want to go out there again. That's what Ewers has got to be like. Like, really? You're going to give me one more opportunity to fail? One more opportunity for people to yell and scream and say I stink and this and that? Really, defense? Thanks for nothing. So right now, Georgia, interestingly enough, is favored minus 156, 2nd and 8 from the 47, Joe. I find that interesting. I don't know where I would put it, but I do find no point spread, but they still think Texas is going to lose.
Well, because Texas hasn't been able to kick those field goals. So if it comes down to that situation, they haven't been able to convert in the red zone and they haven't been able to hit the field goals. So I understand why the books have Georgia at minus 156, but you look at that plus money, all they need to do is the 1 touchdown here. Quinn Ewers has to be able to connect with one of his wide receivers. We've seen it during the season. Scott, plus 122, is it worth a shot? Is it worth eating our words here on Quinn Ewers?
2-minute timeout. I don't think he gets it done. I just don't think he gets it done. Won't say he won't, but when I put it's getting lower and lower, plus 114, so they must be driving down the field here a little bit. We're approaching the 2-minute warning. That are just people thinking, yes, they're going to get it done, but I don't think he does. But remember, you got 4 downs to work with now. Obviously no more punting. So maybe about with this field goal kicker, you probably need a good 20 yards to get the field goal.
She was recruited to Oregon partially by, guess who? Mark Campbell and Xavi Lopez. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. I'm going to say this right now. Mark Campbell is one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in women's college basketball right now.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live. Game Day here on the grid. College football game day, as a matter of fact. The biggie, one of the two really big ones. The ACC's not bad either. And really, you make the case the ACC's even more important than the Big Ten championship, just because both Big Ten teams are definitely in, win or lose, whereas the ACC champ is in, the ACC loser is more than likely out. We'll see if it ends up being SMU, but I got a hard time believing that they're going to put SMU in there over Alabama. I just don't think that's going to happen, and that's probably would be the team that would be out right now, Alabama. So we got two pretty good ones, coming up. Brady Cannon and Adam Kaufman standing by here. They'll take over as soon as this one game is done. And moment of truth, here we go. 4th and 3, Texas trailing 16-13. They have the ball at the Georgia 48-yard line. Minute 25 left, and they got 2 timeouts. So this is it. Get the first down and, maybe get yourself in field goal range. You don't, for all intents and purposes, that's the ball game. I think they'd be able to take one knee and then run one play and then do 3 knees, and then that's it. So here you go. Let's see what Quinn Ewers is made of. 16-13. They got it down to 102. Ooh, first down, Texas, Joe.
Okay.
Wow. Down to the Georgia 44. Now it's locked on FanDuel. It might be locked just because there's only a minute left, so they don't want to. Oh, no, there you go. Now Texas minus 132. That's assuming a lot. I mean, field goal's not going to win it for them. Field goal's only going to get it to overtime. A little surprised on that.
That's surprising. Yeah, that's really surprising. They're minus 132 here. So I'm guessing they wouldn't want to go for the field goal here. Who trusts the field goal kicker here for Texas right now? I don't. We saw them miss twice, right? It hasn't been pretty, but they are in field goal range. So I need that big pass to Golden. Come on, let's get a 40-yard to Golden.
Right now you're looking at about a 45-yarder. I would say realistically, like if I was Texas, I mean, you'd go for the field goal. You probably would, right? If it was 4th and like 5, 6, or 7, right? But realistically, to feel comfortable, I need about another 15 yards. I got to get this down to the 10, make it about a 35-yarder. Then, then I'll really feel like if this dude can't miss it, can't make a 35-yarder, then what's he doing on the team? So if you get it, another 15 yards, then that would accomplish that. 42 seconds left. So now Georgia wants to use some of their timeouts, right? No, they're not actually. I'm surprised. You would think they would. I mean, Texas has two timeouts, so the time is not going to be a factor for Texas. So if I'm Georgia, if I'm Kirby Smart, I'm calling some timeouts to see if they score, and this way I have some time left on the clock. Not exactly great management. Although I will tell you, for me, with my same game parlay, if they could score a touchdown on the final play of the game, they don't kick the extra point. I got Georgia +3. They lose by 3. I get the push.
There you go. And if they just get the field goal, we go to overtime at +1,400, right?
Yes, we hit that one. And then we are alive in our 4-team round robin one, which we already would have one leg in. So we only need one of the remaining games.
Important 41 seconds. Yeah, this is an important 41 seconds here, Scott. Yeah. It really is to see what they end up doing on this drive. 1st and 10 right now for Texas, I'm seeing with 41 seconds left.
All right. Now Georgia finally called a timeout. 39 seconds left. It's too late, Georgia. You should have called this timeout about 25, 30 seconds ago when they were driving. Because, like I said, you weren't going to stop them. The time wasn't going to be the factor. You needed to stop them. So, but all right, we'll see what happens here. Like I said, that kid on the sidelines is thinking, man, score a touchdown. I do not want to go out on that field. They got it down to the 14.
Because of a pass interference call on Georgia. Huge pass interference. That is not the way to finish up the game.
Yeah, exactly. You can't call that, Joe. That wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. And I'm rooting for Texas, even though I'm betting Georgia. Don't ask. But, I mean, there was a long pass in the end zone. And I don't know. That looked pretty, I'm looking at the replay here.
Was hugging him. He was holding him into him, right?
Yeah.
He wasn't able to get separation because he was. That's mind-blowing there. I'd be really upset if I was Georgia right now.
Yeah, they're running down the left sideline, so he's turning to his right. And you're right, Joe. The defensive back is so close to him, but he's not really like bumping into him. But then the wide receiver puts his arm around the defensive back, so they fall to the ground. So he's pulling them into him.
Yeah,
you can't make that.
That's
you can't make
Matthew
that.
Golden for you.
Yeah,
you can't call that. You really can't. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Is Quinn Ewers going to be able to get it done for them?
It takes another sack. This guy's a sack machine. Or did he just fall down? What happened? He looks left, looks right, nobody there. Throw it away. What are you doing? He is not a smart quarterback. He is just not a smart quarterback. He took a sack there. You cannot take a sack. He had plenty of time to get rid of the ball as the receivers were covered. So now it's 3rd and 15 with 24 seconds left at the Georgia 19-yard line. So you got those 10, 15 yards from when it was the 29. So now you're looking at a 35-yarder, depending on what they do on 3rd down. Same question we asked a moment ago, George. Do you run the or Joe? Do you run the ball and just the field goal, or you drop back pass with Quinn, quarterback sack Ewers, and maybe get out of field goal range?
I'd run it. I really would. I wouldn't trust Ewers. I would run this ball here. I wouldn't be looking to kick a field goal as of yet. I tell you, you can call me George, by the way. I'll go by George today. Everyone wants to call me George. Scott, it's okay.
Yeah, I know. You got George written on you for some reason. I don't know what it is.
It's okay. I take that as a compliment. I'll be George Kurtz for the day. Right?
There you go. So he's a hockey guy. All right, so they throw it deep in the end zone, incomplete. 4th and 15. Okay. Bad pass, wasn't open, threw it into double coverage. The whole kit and caboodle. That was actually 3rd down, or that was 2nd down. I'm behind, so he must have thrown another incompletion on 4th down. So they're at the 19. They're looking at a 35, 36-yard field goal.
If he can't hit this, Scott, if he can't hit it, like, come on, the kid has to hit it here. He's 4 on game tying or go ahead field goals with less than 2 minutes left. So he's being good under this pressure.
I think they didn't rule that a fumble then, right? Because I'm looking at 3rd down
now. No, they're going for the field goal right now.
Right.
So,
all right.
Let's see.
What do you think? Do you make it?
There's a timeout. George is calling the timeout. You knew that was coming, right?
They're going to milk
He's
this. Yeah, we're going to miss it in a break. We probably will. Yeah. Although, you know what, George, there's a long break. Our breaks are pretty short here at SportsGrid, only 2-minute breaks, so don't go anywhere. We might get it back. I know I'll probably get it because I'm still on 4th down here, or I'm still on 3rd down. So I'm good, but you guys, unfortunately, are not. So no lines on FanDuel. Everything's all locked up. I don't think you can call back-to-back timeouts in college football. I know you can't in the NFL. I don't think you can. Maybe you can. I forget in college football.
I think you can, because when we were watching that overtime game, they just would call that one timeout right away. So I don't think you can.
Field goal is good. They only call the one.
It's good. We're going to overtime.
Maybe we're going to overtime. How about? Well, I shouldn't say that. 17 seconds left. You never know. So that 14-1 ticket. How about that, Joe? Not bad. Looks like we're going to
get a beautiful day here on the grid.
That will make up for our same game parlay, which did not hit because of that. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right, more coming up.
She was recruited to Oregon partially by, guess who? Mark Campbell and Xavi Lopez. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. I'm going to say this right now. Mark Campbell's one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in women's college basketball right now.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
And 14-1, cha-ching, cha-ching, cashes. Overtime they go. They just didn't run another play after the kickoff. So we're going to overtime. Georgia and Texas tied at 16. Texas the favorite. You want to say, Joe, that Texas would be the favorite because, they have their regular team, the regular players, whereas Georgia has the backup quarterback. But, the kid's been okay, 9 of 13 for 60 yards. And then you throw in the fact that the field goal kicker for Texas has got the yips, although he just hit one from 34 to send it to overtime. So give him credit for that. But it does have 2 misses. Still, they can't be completely confident in him. So that maybe balances the scale a little bit. But I would think, if I had no dog in the fight right now, I think I would be betting Texas, although the Georgia field goal situation is that much better. I will say this kid hasn't missed a field goal inside 40 yards. They were showing like 33 straight attempts. So he's not missing, whereas Texas, you don't know. So, maybe it is right around pick 'em, like the line says, minus 138 in favor of Texas.
Are we getting any bets on those extra overtimes? I wanted to see number of overtimes. We are, Scott. Number of overtimes is up. So the one is, I love this. The one is minus 210. So we know we're going to overtime. That's already in the books. 2 overtimes plus 300, 3 overtimes plus 650, 4 plus overtimes plus 1400. Can we go back and forth in this one? I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I wish FanDuel here in New York offered those. They don't. I don't see them. I like those a lot. Now you got to hit them exactly. Like you can't have 3 and then cash a 2 ticket. It's got to be exact. But I would go 3 and on up, or 2 and on up, if they're going to give you 3 to 1, right? And base it on. Let's hope it gets to 3. And this way, we'll lose the other 2, but the 3 really jumps it up. And even if you get 2 overtimes at 3 to 1, I would go 2, 3, and 4. If they offer that, because
they do. They do. Yeah. Oh, and it's 4 plus. So the 4 is 4 or more, right?
Okay.
The other one's the exact number.
Right.
I love that. When we came on the air, Scott, what did we say? We said we called the overtime, but do you remember the number of overtimes we joked about that we would be sitting here? Did we say all the way to 8? Yeah. What did we say? Yeah. Because that was 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago, right?
That was a long time ago. A lot of bets ago. Yeah. So,
right?
again, if you put $1, as I told you, in this round robin thing, you got one, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
So you just need one more later on tonight for the 3 games. And then if you have it in 4, which I put it in, you're 53,247, or 53,000, what is it? 53,000 and change. I'll just say 247. That's, we're alive. We're definitely alive. That would be crazy.
So
that would
that
be crazy.
cashes tonight. Are we seeing you tomorrow, Scott? Just asking, because I have to do a show with you tomorrow, and if you cash that, you're not going to be here.
I am not going to.
You got to be
if
here.
I cash that, I am not going to be here. Sorry.
Adam and I are expecting you tomorrow, Scott. You better show up if you cash that tonight, or at least then I'm expecting.
I'll call in. I'll definitely
You'll call in.
Okay. Yeah, let's put it out. I'll call in for you guys. Yeah.
He'll be in a remote studio calling in. I love it.
Yeah. And we have no score, by the way. Marshall, Louisiana. We are underway. That one started at 7:30 Eastern time. Well, really about 7:45, about 5 minutes ago. I don't know what they would do with these 8 o'clock games. The one is on, I think they're all on the same network, right? ABC has the ACC championship, so they definitely would not start that. I don't know if Fox would hold off on the Big Ten championship or not, or CBS actually. CBS has got the Penn State Oregon one. I don't, that's a good. I don't know. Maybe they might wait like 5 minutes. I could see the executive saying, "All right, let's just wait a couple of minutes longer before we kick off." It is a Saturday night, so it's not like it's a weekday where, we'd be playing football until midnight. It's Saturday night. So, but we'll let you know. Anyway, Texas has the ball first. So the one dopey thing about this, I don't mind the overtime and you got to go for 2 and all that stuff. What I think is dumb, Joe, is have them, have to switch sides of the fields every single overtime. That is stupid. Just pick one. And this way, you don't have these kids literally walking 100 yards down the field every single time. That is so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean, so.
I think we're seeing Manning out there, Scott. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure we do have Arch Manning out there right now.
Wow. That's weird if that's the case.
I think he came out for one drive, and now Quinn Ewers is back out now. Now I'm seeing Ewers back. Interesting.
Did he throw a pass? Let me see. No, he didn't. He ran for 5 yards. So I don't know where that was the entire game. But okay. Kind of goofy, right?
Yeah.
And another bad pass out of Ewers. 3rd and 5.
Okay.
Boy. For a guy that's thrown for 359 yards, we are criticizing him a lot, I must say, but it's just
it's so true, right?
Yeah.
359, one passing touchdown, 26 of 43.
Yeah.
One passing touchdown,
Those are pretty good numbers. It's those 2 interceptions, though. It's funny. His 359 yards passing pales in comparison to the 60 yards passing from the backup Gunnar Stockton for Georgia. It's like we're praising that guy for 60 stinking yards, and we're killing Ewers for 360 yards. So, all right, first down, Texas. Nice little slant play. Almost dropped the ball. All right, boy, if they win this, what a crazy game. What a crazy, crazy game. All right, so timeout already. Georgia calls the timeout. That's interesting. Wonder why they would call a timeout on first down. All right, they did. So we got to take a little break here anyway, so it's a perfect time for a timeout, I suppose. Texas minus 148, Georgia plus 116. Texas 2nd and 10 now at the Georgia 14-yard line. We'll keep you posted when we come back. Let you know if they scored, and then we got still no score. Marshall, Louisiana, 5.5 minutes in for that game.
She was recruited to Oregon partially by, guess who? Mark Campbell and Xavi Lopez. They know what they're doing. And I'm going to say this right now, folks. I'm going to say this right now. Mark Campbell is one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in women's college basketball right now.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
We got the NBA Cup going on. Not that anybody really cares per se about the NBA Cup. Now, I got to be honest with you. I actually did try to look of like, okay, like what does it mean like for the NBA Cup? Like who's playing for what here? And I lost interest and I gave up after about 30 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Whatever, dude. There's NBA games.
Sports Rage tonight, only on SportsGrid.
He also said that the Bears head coaching opening would be the most coveted job after the season.
They'll let that guy stay. I heard today that they were very worried about screwing up Caleb Williams, so that he likes this guy Brown so much that they may let him stay as the head coach. What a disaster that'll turn into.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in Game Live, college football game day. Scott Wetzel, Joe Madden here for a marathon. We're in overtime, SEC championship game as Texas has just kicked the field goal to go up 19-16, Joe, their first possession. Now Georgia can respond. Touchdown, ball game over, field goal. We go to a double overtime, and then who knows what happens from that point on. 35 is your number. This is a big drive. Because, for the most part, Georgia's over-under was 16.5, 17.5 or so. We played the over. I know I got over 17.5. So I need a field goal out of them when everything is said and done. Maybe we go to double overtime. Hopefully you can cash some of your overtime tickets that FanDuel was offering. Nice job, FanDuel. So what do you think? What does Georgia do? They're laying minus 162. I told you their field goal kicker's automatic. So I'd be surprised. I'm going to put the jinx on the poor guy, but I'd be surprised if they don't at least get a field goal out of this.
Oh, absolutely. I think they can get the field goal on the board as well. The books have them as a minus 170 favorite right now. So if you believe they're going to go down and score that touchdown, you're not getting much value for them to get the straight up win. Texas, though, for the straight up win at plus 168. That line is moving. Georgia minus 220 right now. They are taking money on Georgia to get this win, Scott. What do you think? Do you think Georgia has it in them to drive down the field and get a touchdown on the board?
Well, listen, like I said, I think that a lot of that plays in part to their field goal kicker being so automatic. Like they're assuming it's going to be absolutely at least a field goal out of this. So it's kind of weird. Georgia, now it's locked. Okay. I was going to say it was minus 220, and then it was first down at the Texas 16-yard line. So that may be like minus 300 here in a second. If they, minus 142. This is one of those where you really got to be watching. Your TV set really has to be on time because if they're going to flip it every down like they seemingly are, you better know what you're betting versus thinking that Texas has first and 10 or Georgia has first and 10 at the Texas 16-yard line, and they're giving you minus 142. I kind of doubt that's the case. So we will see. But yeah, a lot riding on this thing. Would Georgia go for it? Like I see 3rd and 3 for the Texas 18. If it was 4th and 1, would they go for it, thinking, okay, we want to win the game, or would they kick the field goal?
I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, Scott. What do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think they'd go for it? Would you go for it?
No, I would kick the field goal. Yeah.
Okay.
Knowing my field goal kicker is really good, and knowing the issues Texas had, rely on your defense. But I mean, think about this, Joe. What is this has to set the record, right? Has a team ever had back-to-back overtime games? Remember, they played 8 overtimes last week, Georgia. They're going to play like an extra game's worth of football here if this goes to like 4 or 5 overtimes. I mean, they've been down this road before, so they clearly have the experience in this. First down, they got the first down on 3rd and 5.
Wow.
So, all right.
Okay.
Get a score, Joe. Look at it, Gwen.
Yeah. We have a backup quarterback here for Georgia coming down, driving the ball down the field. They're a huge favorite. They're minus 1,400 to win it right now. Plus 680 here if you think Texas has it in them to hold them to just a field goal, and then your possibility of hedging is there, right? But
they probably have it first and goal. If it's minus 8 to 1, like they just had it there for a second. Now it's you watch it's first and goal, probably inside the 5-yard line too. So FanDuel saying 2nd and 8, but it wouldn't be 8 to 1. Yeah. So Texas is on the verge. Georgia's on the verge of winning this thing. But I tell you, this would be a great win. I don't know who's going to beat them. I mean, you could have a double-digit lead against this dopey team and still lose. You could have now, not that Texas had a double-digit lead, but we've seen it before. You could have a lead and the backup quarterback in there for Georgia, and you'd still lose the game. I mean, minus 14 to 1, so it must be.
The backup quarterback just got rocked hard. That was a flag, helmet to helmet, definitely. His helmet just flew right off his head. That was dirty. That's an ejection, right? It's got to be an ejection.
Yeah.
You can't do that. I don't care if you're going to lose the game if you don't do it. Get that kid out of the game.
Yeah. He's up, though. That's the main thing. He's up.
Yeah.
Oof. Yeah. It's at the 4, so they'll bring it down to the 2 or maybe even the 1-yard line. Yeah. Georgia's about to win. We'll let you know when we come back.